squeezed me in somehow. I don't know. Okay, so FURSAverance is pretty much what this entire thing's all about. Like, we decided I'm literally going to run into absolutely nothing for a couple of seconds because I thought that I had a couple of seconds to prepare, anything like that. But in any case, welcome to FURSAverance. Welcome to South Africa's first online furry convention. It's something that we've been sort of putting into the pipeline ever since the entire sort of Corona thing came around. It was something that many of us sort of spoke about at some point, decided that, we do need to have some form of event that was that was necessary to sort of, I guess, in many senses, plug the hole that South Africa not being with us for this year inevitably leaves behind. And I know that from at least many of the people who were talking about it, it was something that I think we all really wanted to get around to and try to get try to get through to a whole bunch of people. And that, like, what, South Africa still exists. We're technologically advanced enough to be able to do things like this, to be able to have full-on weekend-long conventions and so on and so forth. And I mean, like, we have that in the blurb as well, talking about the idea of being unwilling to accept the cancellation of all fur meets and conventions. And for many of us, that's pretty devastating because many people, much like myself, find that this kind of connection with the with the furry world around them sometimes only happens like once a year, because it's the only one that we can actually get round to, that we can afford. But I mean, with the way that things obviously are going in our world today, that becomes sort of more of a pipe dream. And at the end of the day, we're going to try to find other ways to just try to connect with more people around us, with everybody that we feel comfortable to be around, people that we've met through the furry fandom, through any of our sort of other travels and things like that. And I mean, it's definitely something that we felt was necessary to be able to get around to doing. So obviously FURSAverance, for that particular name as well, obviously to persevere. So, I mean, it's the first con for South Africa to be able to sort of get this on local organized ground. We were attempting to sort of just look at what other conventions were doing and decide to emulate how they were working. And it's definitely something that we feel is very close to our hearts, because wanting to be close to our friends, even when we can't be, is something that I feel very, very personally is something that we'd like to be able to do. So we intend to do things like showcasing, South African art, to be able to connect to some of the talents out there, obviously in this whole virtual setting. I've been made to feel like a boomer recently, like when somebody was talking to me about particular technicalities that I can't do anymore. Particularly, I don't have a camera. For one thing, I never want to show my face to anyone unless they're my students. And for that matter, nobody really wants to be my student here. But yeah, so it's little things like that. We obviously have a program that's been organized for you. We'll be going through that in a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds. And yeah, we just really hope that, we can make some form of a Yes. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. I am now currently streaming from my phone. So there's another thing that's currently happening is that I don't know what it is, but apparently three of us have all decided to like run into internet issues as it goes. But for now, I do have a backup, which is currently the backup that I'm using. But yeah, so little things. That that we'd sort of like to talk about is goodness. I've got lists for this stuff, and that's the wrong one. But yeah, so pretty much what FURSAverance is all about is kind of just persevering through it, making sure that we can push through, continue doing what's necessary to continue just keeping the camaraderie that comes with being part of the furry fandom alive. And it's definitely something that we feel like that kind of society. That's almost the sort of thing that we experienced when we first had the convention going. This entire idea that we aren't alone in South Africa, for instance, and beyond that, we're not just some backwater country in the middle of Africa either. We're people, and that in and of itself is something that we feel is necessary. That kind of social connection is the thing that we're sort of going after. And so anyway, just beyond me getting weird about this, we hope that you're obviously going to join in, talk to us, and be around. And we're going to try to give our best from our side to be able to just enjoy the day and enjoy the weekend. But yeah, so there's a weird joke that I have here that I'm not sure I'm going to go through anymore. But the entire idea that that quarantini juice is finished. Obviously, South Africa is here. We exist. We're always going to be here for an amount of time, and I think that's going to be important. But yeah, so as things are going, one of the things that I do want to talk about for the day. So I'm going to just go through a small breakdown of both who our staff are, and then we're going to do a small breakdown of how the convention goes. Of course, you can find that on the website. But for now, I just want to quickly talk about the staff that we have. So obviously we've got Collie, a lover of old games and a bringer of interesting conversation. We've got Pseudo, our very capable cheese-based symbiote. We've got Valerian, who is a grump werewolf and will entertain my mornings for years to come. Hopefully, they'll do the same for you. I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, Iron Wolf Tempest is also here. Also, possibly part symbiote, not necessarily sure, but yeah, also a part streamer, full-time maker of delicious things. And then we've got Sudan Red, who I then call the terror of the open seas, and Yarn. We got some Coyote Animosis, who will eventually find out what species he is. Love you, please don't hurt me. But yeah, so one of the things that I want to get down to is that we've got a general breakdown of what the convention is about. It should be available online. But yeah, so general breakdown is for today, and I'm pretty much just going to go through today. Is obviously we've got our opening ceremony now. You're still going to hear my voice for a couple more minutes. They called me charismatic, and I don't think that that's in any way the truth. But be that as it may, beyond that, we've got the intro to VR chat and demo. Oddly enough, I actually think that I'm going to go to this one. I want to see what this is all about. Hopefully the internet decides to let us stick around for a bit. I do want to be able to sort of join in, listen up, and go about that, because I know that there have been many questions about VR chat and whether plebeians can join them without the headsets and everything. So there's definitely something to come from there. We got some furry Jackbox directly after that, with 2 hours from 1:30 p.m. Again, all of these times are CAT, so Central African time. So 1:30 to 3:30. We're gonna have that with Taka and friends. Then we've got some 3D modeling and tutorials coming up directly after that, or actually almost at the same time. So I mean, if you can't join the Furry Jackbox or listen to the Furry Jackbox, there's a secondary channel talking about 3D modeling and the kind of tutorials that go behind how we do 3D modeling. That'll be done by Jakutal. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. But then we've also got an introduction to Tabletop Simulator with some Tabletop Simulator fun. This is paneled by Kedra, Collie, Kos, Takju, Sirius, and Chicken Raptor. And then directly after that, we've got Sudan's quickfire quiz. And as a person who's experienced Sudan's quizzes before, keep your pants on. Like, wow, it's some really, really intense stuff that comes from there. I've been stumped before in one of these things, and I mean, like, I sit next to her half the time, going like, yeah, cool. We actually do many of these quizzes together, and yeah, Sudan's quiz has always been absolutely amazing. Now, and directly after that, we've got some live streams with Nopulent, who'll be doing a little bit of art with us and drawing and a whole bunch of fun. And then D&D. So you want to run D&D. This will be paneled by a Rocket Dog. That'll be going from 7:30 to 9:30. Once again, 7:30 to 9:30. And then we've got Soar with their original music DJ set. So please do have a listen for that. That'll be starting at 9:30 p.m. all the way to 10:30. That'll also we've also have another music set directly after that with Haven Disco. And yeah, so that'll pretty much wrap up what the day's like. So that's very, very packed, very full of a whole bunch of different people, different voices, pretty much showcasing what not South Africa. I'm so sorry. I don't know, because there are so many things. FURSAverance, and obviously I'm going to do this because this is kind of the way that things go with me. I will mix something up at least once per day and once per every other performance that we sort of put out there. But yes, so yeah, that's pretty much how things are going from there. Beyond all of this information, we've obviously got the FURSAverance raffle prizes. So for those of you who are obviously listening, going like, okay, but what's all this for? We're running a raffle, and obviously we're doing donations to. Goodness, I'm beginning to try to find this. We're doing donations to the. I'm lost for a couple of seconds, so just Husky Rescue. Thank you to Husky Rescue, which is obviously a furry convention. Well, I think this is the second or third year that we've actually been looking to go towards Husky Rescue, particularly because it's a really nice really nice place to go to for this. And for the last 2 or 3 occasions that we've actually started speaking to them, they were very, very sort of happy about the kind of donations that we made there. And we want to sort of continue building that kind of rapport to know that we are, looking at, and again, that's probably one of the other things that we can talk about, is the idea that we look at the smaller things out there. It's not, always the SPCA. It's not always these big sort of donation goals. We like sort of helping smaller things, and to a larger, or to at least to some smaller extent. And this is my personal sort of goal a large amount of the time, is always making sure that we can help people who are sort of bubbling under, instead of breaking into, everybody knows the SPCA, but Husky Rescue, for instance, just gets overlooked. So we tend to look at the overlooked for that. Beyond that, of course, we've got artists, many artists. So you can look at the artist listing, also available. We'll get to the point that I was going to get to eventually. But yeah, so we've got, it's not an exhaustive list, but it's definitely people that you can speak to in respect to what they can do. Their art is absolutely top notch. Whatever you're in the mood for, whatever you really want out of this, go for it. Have a look the list that's available on online. So that's all there. But yeah, and then back to donations. We are talking about donations. So you could win many of particular amounts of prizes. This for $1. Every dollar that you donate, you can get a raffle ticket. All tickets will be thrown into a randomized, random number picker, and then the wheel of choosing shall determine your prize from the list below. And you can see that the prizes that we have here, donations by Papercat, from what's the word? One custom pour commission, 3 keychains. Sure. Kepri Wild is also put things up for 3 Telegram Chibi sticker packs, 5 stickers each. Alejandra has also gone as far as to say 1 custom headshot icon. You see all of that information should be available on the link on site. And then Kedra has 1 copy of. Huh? I don't know what TTS is. I apologize. My not boomer is coming out. Thank you. Tabletop Simulator. Then we've got Kai with 1 custom pixel portrait. And then we've got Mushy Bird with a custom headshot icon. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that dependent on how the convention moves forward, we'll definitely sort of figure out what other places we can put con prizes like that going forward. All of these things are very, very. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing. So I have been avoiding chat, and I know that I should be looking at it, but I'm going to continue avoiding it for a couple of seconds. Mostly because it's not actually, what's the word, updated for me. So there's that. Yeah. Beyond that, I think we should just be able to get back to the rest of the day. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything. Please let me know otherwise. I have voices that talk into my ear at this point. Yeah. So that is that. And yes, welcome to the convention. And I hope you all enjoy your stay here. Oh, the other thing that I did want to speak about that I know that I should have gotten around to, and I've actually typed it out. Nero, thank you very much at this point. Nero has, before this even began, tipped $50 to the cause that we're going to and for. So yeah, time to watch chat. Okay, that's me. I'm going to walk away from this and hope that I can walk away from this. Goodbye.